Hello, everyone. My name is Chista and I'm here with my colleague Kadi and then our panelists to have the session with you. It's really great to have all of the panelists with us today. I'll be guiding us through today's conversation. So just to set the scene, the purpose of this session is to support and encourage women who are thinking about applying for round 7 of GRADS program. Every year, we see that women are still underrepresented across agricultural greenhouse gas research, even though the women who do join the program make incredible contributions. So today, it's about making a pathway clearer and more welcoming, and hopefully more doable for you. You'll be hearing directly from 3 alumni who've very kindly given their time to share what motivated them, what the experience was actually like, and what they've taken forward into their careers. Our hope is that their stories will give you both practical direction and the confidence to consider taking this step yourselves. So with that, let's quickly look at what round 7 involves before we meet our panel. So I'll be giving a brief snapshot of round 7 of the student code and also like what the CliffGrad program is. The program offers grants to its scholars, to awardees, to conduct 4 to 6 months of research stays hosted by institutions associated with the Global Research Alliance on Agricultural Greenhouse Gases, or the GRA, the Global Methane Hub, and the CGIAR, and this program is a joint program of these organizations, and it's funded by the New Zealand government and the Global Methane Hub in this round. These, if we could move to the next slide, just an overview of the program. As I said, the CliffGrad scholars conduct 4 to 6 months of research stays. These stays are very hands-on. Students work directly on measurement, modeling, or mitigation of agricultural greenhouse gases. And it's a chance to gain technical skills, build international networks, and work with experts in your field. It's open to currently enrolled PhD students, both from and studying in developing countries. And this round includes a broad range of project options from livestock systems to soil processes, rice modeling, etc. And if we could go to the next slide, in terms of how to apply, the call document has all the information you need. So get the call document, and in the next slide, I will show you the QR code for how to access it. Then in the call document, there is a list of projects that I earlier mentioned. Select up to 3 projects that you're interested in to apply for. And then the next step is to put together your application file, which needs a motivation letter from you, where you also list those 3 projects that you've selected, your CV, and a recommendation letter from your PhD supervisor. The 4th step is to submit your application through the portal. Also, I will show you the link in the next slide. And then if you have questions, email us at cliffgrads@globalresearchalliance.org. If you could go to the next slide, if you could click next. So if you scan this QR code, you will access the call document. And if you click next, and this QR code, if you scan it, you will access the application portal. And if you'd like to follow us on LinkedIn, check out the information about CliffGrads and our past rounds on the website, or check out our Twitter or X. These are the QR codes. So that's the quick intro of this call and the CliffGrads program. So today is really about the human side of the program. So let's meet the people who've lived it. It's an honor to introduce our panelists for this session, 3 inspiring alumni who've all taken different paths through the CliffGrads program. First, Dr. Primitiva Andrea Mboyerwa. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing names. She is a soil scientist and agronomist, dedicated, currently an assistant lecturer at Sokoine University of Agriculture. Next, Dr. Funmilola Oluwafemi, who is an ecosystem preservation and sustainability expert with an academic background in biochemistry. She's currently a Chief Scientific Officer at National Space Research and Development Agency in Nigeria at the Life Sciences Division. And last but not least, Dr. Glory Edwards, sustainability researcher in agri-food systems. She's currently a postdoctoral researcher in the Soil Physics and Land Management Group at Wageningen University in Netherlands. A huge thank you to each of you for joining us. We really appreciate your time and openness. So let's dive in. First, I'd like to ask questions about the basics. Tell us some quick facts about your CliffGrads experience. Where was your research stay? What country? What institute? About what years did you do your research stay? And what was the topic you worked on? I start with Glory.
Yes, thank you for having me, Chista and Kadi. Yeah, and it's an honor to share with other prospective awardees. So my research stay was in the International Rice Research Institute in Hanoi, Vietnam, and my topic was on the sustainable rice platform. So measuring the sustainability potential of adopting mitigation practices by farmers. Yeah, and yeah, my research stay uniquely happened virtually because I'm the round who was awarded during the COVID-19 years. Yeah, but my experience was very positive, and that was doing my PhD as with other awardees. And from that one award I got from the CliffGrads, I produced 2 scientific papers for my PhD thesis. So not only on the topic of sustainable rice, on the sustainable rice platform, but in addition, having been opened up to this network of rice researchers from all over the world through the CliffGrads, I also conducted horizon scan with over 100 rice researchers. So that led to 2 outputs for my PhD thesis. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll pass the word. Yeah.
And Primitiva, how about you? Where was your research stay? And yeah, tell us all about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister and Kadi. Yeah, I'm very happy to share my experience today. Yeah, with the prospectors student who are gonna apply for CliffGrad. Yeah, I did my research stay in the Agricultural Research Services at the United States Department of Agriculture in the United States of America in Oregon State, based at Pendleton. So even me, it happens I supposed to attend my Cliff grad stay during COVID-19. So it was very challenging. I supposed to start in 2020, March, but I couldn't. So I was able now to extend up to November 2023. So it was almost 3 years of waiting. And I remember at that time I was already received my fund. So you can imagine how to I was honest to keep this fund until I made it happen. And you can see that I was so much patient, and I wanted to join this program. So I managed to go and stay for 4 months at USDA, and I was able now to explore different ways of monitoring greenhouse gases emissions, from wheat farming systems. So the experience was very, very, very impressive, as I was able now to expand my networks, because I met different scientists. Until now, we are in touch. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, awesome. Wow. So we have at least two people here who have experienced the COVID, research stay at COVID times. And how about you, Funmilola? Tell us about your research stay.
Okay, thank you very much. Mine was actually in 2021 post-COVID. Yeah, and I was part of the Rand 4, group, and I had at Awasa University College of Education at Ethiopia, and the topic is application of voucher and composted voucher from urban agricultural and agro-industrial processing organic waste. So that's the topic. So it was great. I was able to carry out cutting edge research in serene environments as regards climate smart agriculture. And I was also able to carry out both laboratory and field experiments. Prior to that, I had been doing only laboratory experiments. So I was going to the field for the very first time. And it was like, wow, is this the way fields experiments are performed? So it was actually great. And I had a very good host supervisor as well. It was more like a father because it was an elderly man. And each time I wanted to meet him, he was always ready for any question, that I was bringing to him. Also, the people of Ethiopia, they are very accommodating. So I also enjoyed that aspect of it as well. So I also went on outreaches, to meet children and to make some discussion with them. So it was really a great time that I had during my research stay.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. So from Vietnam to the US to Ethiopia, what motivated you all to initially apply for Cliff Grads, and how did you learn about it? And feel free to raise your hands whenever you think you'd like to answer. Funmilola, do you remember?
Yeah. Okay. From my end, okay, I have a background of biochemistry, And for my PhD, I was researching on plants and then growing them under certain conditions. And then after growing them, I was to now carry out certain biochemical experiments on them, on the two groups. So all the while, I had trained during my undergraduate and masters, to know how to carry out biochemical analysis. But for the agricultural aspects, growing the plant from the beginning, and then so it was quite challenging. So for like a year plus, I was growing this plants and they were dying. I was like, wow, after spending so much time, energy, money, and the plants will just die after the nursery, after I take them to the field. So it was quite challenging. So I saw this application, the GRADS application. I got to know about it, and then I said, wow, this will be a platform to go abroad, at least to have that knowledge that will push me forward in my research. And that was it. So I applied, I was selected, and getting to my research stage, like the very first week, that was my first question to my supervisor as an agriculturist. So I explained my challenges to him, and that I had grown this plant, for some time they're dying. What was I supposed to do? And he just told me, he explained from the basis how plants are grown, and then what I was expected to do, not to expose them to a harsh condition immediately after nursery. And that was it. That was it. So I had that breakthrough, and it's assisted me. Mhm.
Wow, amazing. And do you remember when you were looking at the list of proposal, like research options, did you know already which ones you wanted? Was that your first choice, or was there like some changes? And then, do you remember those details?
Okay, yes, I can actually remember that way. I think 55 host organizations, and I checked through the topics, and I looked for the three that were very close to my research topic, and I pinned them down. I pinned them down. There was one in the UK, there was one in the US, and then there's Ethiopia. So checking through, in quotes, this was why I chose the Ethiopia. I said, okay, probably there will be less competition. And I said, okay, let me put that as number one. And truly, there was less competition. I was just selected. I didn't have to struggle. But I selected the first three that were close to my research title for my PhD.
Very clever approach. Yeah, because I mean, we like from behind the scenes experience, there is a long list of projects, and we do get like, because you can imagine certain projects get a lot more interest than others. There might be any reasons, maybe location, maybe the topic is a hot topic and things like that. So that's a very good tip. And how about Glory and Primitiva? What motivated
Yes.
to apply? And yeah, go ahead, Primitiva.
Yes, let's go ahead. Yeah, for me, what motivated me much, it was my research topic. When I saw my research topic, it aligns with one of my hosts in the USA. Yeah, I was looking at different level of nitrogen fertilizers and the nutrient use efficiencies in rice. And then I found the call for my supervisor, the project she was dealing with. She's looking about how to lower the amount of nitrogen in a wheat system. So I found that one is aligning with my research. And then at the same time, I had one supervisor based in Cornell University in USA. Now I said, now this could be the chance for me to meet my supervisor at the same time when I will be, and it happened like that. So when I got the research stay, I was able now, when after finishing, I was able now to connect from Oregon to New York at Cornell University to meet my supervisor. And my supervisor gave me the chance, to give the seminar about my PhD research. So you can
So
see the way.
So this, you're talking about your PhD supervisor. So
Yes,
your PhD supervisor was also remotely working with you? Interesting.
yes, yeah. He was remotely working with me, so we never met. So that through Cliff Glad, I was able now to meet him.
Wow. So you met your PhD supervisor also through GRADS. Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And how about you, Glory? Do you remember
Yeah.
those days?
Yeah, yeah, I do. So for me, it was really at the start of my PhD. I started my PhD in 2019. So yeah, the awards, the call is usually in the previous year before it is awarded. Just like now, the call is in 2025. So at the start of my PhD, you have to write a proposal to about the work you carry on. That's even after being offered the admission. So after I agreed with my supervisors to focus on rice, then the actual research started, and there were several topics in the call, but I really looked for a topic that I could add to my thesis, because the practice PhD by by publications. So for every research, your research can stand alone, but at the end of your PhD, you really have to write a kind of discussion and conclusion, linking all these papers together. So I already started to think from that, what research would fit into the rest of my PhD. And at this point, I already had a proposal and a plan of what I wanted to do during my PhD. So, but of course, a proposal is only just it's a plan. It's a helpful plan, but it's open to change. So, but I was looking for a project that would not completely overhaul my PhD. It would still fit in nicely, so that I could achieve multiple things while carrying out the research. My PhD is still ongoing, so I don't actually lose time, but gain time, and also gain additional supervision from experts around the world. So that was what I looked at, and I also reflected that in my motivation letter. So it's not just that this is what I've been doing, this is what I'm doing as my PhD, but I showed the strong overlap between the topic and my PhD, and how this would contribute to my PhD, which I think is the overall aim of the GRADS as well. It's one of the aims to strengthen. That's why it's given to PhD students, PhD candidates. It's one of the aims to strengthen your ongoing research as an early career researcher. So that really was kind of spot on for me. And you can choose 3, but also keeping in mind in the order of fit or priority, like my other panelists have said, whatever factors you are using to choose what is to be your one in the order of priority. So for me, that was what I looked at. And right now, I don't even remember the other topics I chose. I think I just chose them like, okay, let's see what else can but the first topic was really something I chose with the intention to fit into my PhD. And also, I'll add this, maybe this will link to the next questions and round of comments. So, and I also explained this to my supervisor that, oh, I see how this would fit into my PhD. So whatever letter they wrote was really in support of the fact that this is spot on, this will help. So that also sells your position, sells your application as really fitting, and that it will really benefit from the Cliff grads. Yeah. So that was my case. Yeah.
Thank you, Glory. That was actually a very good segue into what I wanted to ask next. So thanks. Yeah, just wanted to ask of others also. So you already shared some tips about, strategies, how to select, projects, and, how to apply, kind of tips about motivation that are very useful. Other tips other panelists have about, one or two pieces of advice, in preparing the proposal. Was there anything you did in your application that you feel really helped strengthen your application?
Yeah, I can add up. Yeah, I can add up even the support from your supervisor. Yeah, I can see it is very important because you need to work outside your country or the outside university you are registered. So when it reaches the time to go to your stay, your supervisor should be informed. So you need to start with your supervisor when you
Meaning your
plan to
PhD
apply.
supervisor you're talking
Yeah,
about.
PhD supervisor, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that when the time it reaches to go to your stay, you can get the permission to go out of the university. Yeah, that is another tip I wanted to make.
Yeah, that's a very good point because people, when they're applying, we are asking that, they should be able to start their research stay within a specific time frame. So yeah, that's actually a good tip. They need to talk to their university and then host supervisor to make sure they would be able to do that. How about you, Funmilola? Any specific tips or something that you did that, I mean, you already shared some tips,
Yes.
but anything else?
Okay, yes. I have a few points I want to share. So number one, as regards the motivation letter, I was able to first introduce myself well, starting with my course of study, the year obtained, and of course, inputting my cumulative grade points because it is my area of strength. I finished with almost a first class, so I was able to state that very well so that, it will be looked at also. So I also mentioned the reason why I ventured into nutrition and agriculture. And I mentioned my PhD research title, the objectives, and also linking it to climate smart agriculture. As I told you, that I have a background of biochemistry. So I was also able to mention the three host organizations that we have talked about. Then I wrote briefly about the organization I'm working with, and I stated how my prior research is linked to climate smart agriculture. I was able to also mention how the benefits of the research to my career. I stated my soft skills, like I have good initiative, good managerial skills, that I'm creative, I'm organized, and that I have ability to research in an international environment. I also mentioned that I have English language proficiency with good communication and interpersonal skills. And crowning it all, how I was going to use the knowledge, to also impact others when I come back. And then for my CV, because I have been working for several years, even before I ventured into my PhD. So I have like, my CV was already running into 20-something pages at the time of application. So putting that into a page was so challenging. So I put in the most important parts of my CV, and I stated these are selected, that these things I'm mentioning, they actually selected, but not all about my CV, so that the those going through the application can see that, okay, my CV is not as like short as this. And also for my publications, my publication was already running into tens of it, like 20-something of it. So I just mentioned it like, okay, 6 books, I have 6 books, 9 journal publications, number of conference proceedings and whole. So because I could not list them into on that one page. So at the end of the CV, I input a link stating, for my full CV, please click here. So I put unrestricted link, at the end of the CV, so that in case they want to see the full CV, they'll be able to see them. And then for the recommendation letter, from my host supervisor, it was also well written, making sure that the position is of my supervisor is well stated. I was able to check that after I had written it, and that his contact details were there as well. And I also labeled my application well, state like putting my name, so that in case it is mixed with others, it can easily be identified. I labeled it with my name and my school. So this was I want to share.
Wow. No wonder you all, were received this award and, joined the scholarship, because, in terms of like the description of the amount of time you put into the researching and, kind of planning what you want to apply for, and, how you put your application together, all 3 of you. That's very impressive. Yeah, I'm sure whoever was on the review panel at the time, looking at, the kind of neat application, everything is clear, and yeah, probably they were impressed at, at first sight. So with that, we have a few more minutes. We also would like to learn a little bit about your research stay experience, to kind of give our audience a glimpse of what it was like. And I'll hand over to Kadi to lead this part of the session.
Yeah, thank you
Kadi,
so much.
over to you.
Yeah, so those questions are more in regards to your actual research stay experience, and some of them might not be applicable to necessarily all of you, but if you do have an answer, please just raise your hand as well. But the first one, I'm sure you will all have an example to give. So could you share an example of a day that really captures what your stay was like? We'll start with Glory, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to amend it to my situation, because I eventually did virtual, and my stay became longer than my affiliation. Like my contact with my supervisors was also beyond the exact project. But a day would be having meetings and Okay, let me say, when I found out I got the grant, so I wrote to my host, that is the Cliff grad supervisor, with enthusiasm that, oh, I got this grant. The host also knew about that. Said, yeah, I have been notified that you got the grant. So the first step in planning to go for the research stage is also to write a research plan. You know, the topics have been written out, but with my experience in getting short-term research grants, so short period of time, the time goes by so quickly that you have to, before you go there, actually already start to prepare towards the contents. Yeah, 4 to 6 months or 8 months might seem very long, but by the time you're arriving there, you're trying to get settled, you're trying to sort out accommodation, and or if that has already been sorted for you, there's already also just the mental space of, I'm in a new place and I'm settling down there. By the time all of that is done, before you know it, 1 month is gone, 2 months is gone. So I always, in all my short-term research stays, that I got the Cliff grants, the Green Talent, and even for my postdoctoral research, just before I started this one in Vatican University again, I had an 8-month Women in Research award to go to Germany. So I must say that these short-term research stays are very powerful. They really add to your knowledge, your experience, but sometimes applicants or early career researchers overlook them. They say, oh, it's too short. I'm looking for something that is 2 years, something that's as long as 3 years. But these short-term research days can really be powerful to like give a boost to your career, just open you up to a new network, or in my case, to contribute to your PhD thesis. So I would say a typical day, maybe someone else will be more specific on a typical day, but my experience really started prior to the actual time where Cliff grad says is your stay is between March and August, or between this and that. Before that, it's good to already get into conversations with your supervisor, and perhaps I think it's part of the application, I don't remember, where you have to, or maybe this or other applications where you really have to show a table of timeline. This is what I'll do month 1, month 2, month 3. And that is very important, because if there is no, if you don't prepare a plan, the time actually can go by quickly. And in addition, my experience also is that the stay does not end once you have left your host's institution. It continues. If you are publishing a paper, you keep talking, you keep writing the paper, you keep communication. So applicants or future awardees should not box and say, oh, it's just 3 months, it's just 4 months. What can I achieve in those times? Because I think that's what sometimes discourages women in particular from applying. And maybe also women with children. Yeah, it's something that for me, as at then, I had my children were both under 5, and yeah, I'm making sure the math is correct. So yeah, so they're both under 5, and if I had to leave them for a period of time, so there were considerations: should I take them with me? Then do I have to take them out of school or daycare? When I get there, is there daycare for them? So these are the things that women think about. If it's a long-term stay, I can go with my children. They can have enough time to settle in, get into school or whatever. But if it's a short-term stay, what do I do with my children? And many mothers don't want to leave their children behind. And perhaps if you have children of very toddlers, very young age. I mean, at any age, you don't want to leave them behind. But when they are really very dependent on you. So although my stay turned out to be virtual, but at the onset, we already had these conversations. They were checking, maybe should I come with my children? Would there be daycare? These are the practical things. And from experience, your host is willing to support in all of these. Don't see this as disadvantages, or as a woman, you feel this is a limitation for you. The world is, most of the world, I think, and academic and research institutions are quite family friendly. You just need to ask questions. You just need to be connected to the right network, international offices, or expert centers. I don't know what it's called in different places. So these are the things I usually discourage women from kind of putting in their application. And I'll add a second point because I don't know if I'll have time to say this. Some other thing that discourages people from making these applications, women and male and female in general, is I don't have prior, I've not won an award before. You know, I don't have a long CV or prior experience. I've not won an award before. So I see people saying that, would they give that to me? You know, I've not won an award. People feel, of course, when if they are right, it's like kind of a success to the successful appetite. When you have won something, it's likely they'll say, oh, this person has won. He had a commendable profile. We will give this person more. But don't be discouraged with that, because even for me, this was one of my apart from my my first grant. And after this, I went on to win the Green Talent, and after that, now the Women in Research, and all of them have really been short stay research stays. So don't disqualify yourself, whether it's because of family dynamics, whether it's because of caring responsibilities or prior academic and research profile. Don't disqualify yourself. It's somebody, there's always a first, and this could be your first. And these short-term grants are really good as a first grant to win, because they are short. They are a project you can write a motivation to fit into your work. You know, there are calls for research grants. I'll wrap this up soon. There are calls for research grants that are open. Everyone just apply. You know, bring your topic, and then you just apply. But this one is really suited because it says these are the topics. It's for you to prove you have a good fit to them, which I think it's a big advantage to anybody. Whether you have priority, those things are important. I'm not saying they are not important. I also have a profile. I'm saying don't disqualify yourself, especially to women who most times have a imposter syndrome, or already say, if they won't give it to me, I don't want to waste my efforts. Put in your application, and as Chista and Kadi have emphasized, they are actually looking for more women applicants. So see this as already an edge for you. Put in an application, motivate, show clearly your motivations, and write a good, as my other panelists have explained in detail, write a good motivation letter, get a good support letter, show how this will benefit you, as Funmilola and Primitiva has also said, beyond the 5 to 8 months period. Show how this will benefit, how this will contribute to your home institution and all of that, and then you'll be surprised. Yeah, so I'll just pass on the word here. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, some really good points that you made there as well, in terms of women feeling discouraged sometimes due to family situations or anything like that. Yeah, there's always more support than you would think as well. So definitely encourage everyone to apply, at least give it a shot. Maybe I'll move on to another question here. Dr. Funmilola, did the experience match what you expected, or did it turn out quite different?
Okay. So the experience was what I expected. You know, it was even more than my expectation. You know, I mentioned before that the country that I went, Ethiopia, they are very accommodating, you know, and I was also encouraged to imbibe their culture. I mixed with them, so it made my experience very, very great. And I also interacted, you know, I met children, because back home I'm a English teacher, so that passion, you know, was still inside of me, and I just had interest in meeting them. So I met the children. I was teaching them, you know, certain things, and so I had a fantastic time. I also went for relaxation, like sightseeing, you know, everything. I made it to be horror, and it was not only, you know, laboratory work and field work. So I I was able to relax as well. Apart from research, I was able to also to relax. So it was a wonderful experience. And also just to mention the woman aspect of it, you know, while I was there, before going, I had 3 children, you know, and as Gloria has already mentioned, there was a lot of, you know, speculation. How am I going to do it? How will everything work out? And my husband stayed back with them, you know, but I made sure I was communicating with them every day, you know, virtually. We will speak, and then I will tell them my plan tomorrow. This is the time I'll be able to speak with you because I have a presentation so time. So I was communicating with them on the daily basis, and they understood that. And then before leaving Nigeria, you know, I stocked the house, you know, I bought foodstuffs. I put both cooked, you know, inside the freezer. At least that will last them for some time. And that was for like 2 months, you know. And then after a while, there was holiday period, and my husband took them to my mom, to the grandmother, you know. They spent their holiday there. And by the time they were back, you know, Haiti was already preparing to come back. So everything can be planned to make it successful, even as a woman. So I had a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And Primitiva, I'll ask you a different question maybe as well. What sort of new skills or habits did you build during your stay that you still use now?
Okay, yeah, the skill I gained is about the sampling of greenhouse gases from the field by using the chamber method. Yeah, this is the a skill that I'm using, and I'm teaching my students, and I'm using it in research. The one thing that I wanted to mention about the peculiar of this grad, yeah, is about the budget. The grad will give you the money. You are the one to monitor your budget. So it teaches you how you can be able to plan. Either if it happens, you get the research fund or project, you can be able now to say, now I'll be able to buy my ticket, I'll be able to pay my rent, I'll be able to to fulfill my. So it gives you you get even the skills of managing the fund outside your home environment. Yeah, thank you. I had to make that comment.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I think I'll just hand it over to Chista as well, just to either ask some more questions there or, yeah, over to you, Chista.
Thank you.
Chista, I was going to ask Primitiva, maybe you are going to edit this out of the podcast. Did you have a baby? That time, remember?
What?
No, I know you have little children also.
Yeah. I left my children. Yeah. I had the maid, and my husband was taking care of my kids, 3 kids. Yeah. So yeah, we are communicating. I made sure I was keeping in touch. So it is possible, yeah, to be successful, still making an impact and changing lives of people through agriculture. So yeah.
Nice. Something funny here. I changed my background, but now it's in reverse.
Oh, we see it normally. It's good.
Pardon?
It's good the way we see it. It's correct the way we see it.
You see it correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, very good, because I see it in reverse. Good to know.
Chista, there's something we've also not discussed, the network that we gained among ourselves. Yeah, I don't know if that's part of it, but That's between awardees.
You mean among the community of awardees, the alumni
Yeah,
community?
that one. Yeah. So maybe we can. I'm just making a suggestion. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, not at all. So, did you want to talk more about that now, or were you thinking of suggesting something a topic we could focus on maybe in a future webinar or discussion? If you have more time, happy to listen.
I thought it would be a good thing to emphasize for people thinking to apply. Yeah. I think Primitiva has a lot of experience with that. At least I met her during this whole period and this clip grads, and we've been friends since then. Yeah. So
How did you meet? Where did you meet? Tell us more.
Primitiva, can go on.
Yeah. First, we have the network, Grad Alumni Network in Africa. Those who are coming from Africa and they have been alumni. So I think those who went to Nairobi in the conference, I think you met some of us. Yeah. So already we have the ongoing network, so that we can be able now to link up, to share experience, to connect and work together. So CRIF has already united us. And then on my side, I do conduct the info session like this, and I'm planning to conduct another one together different people so that I can give the tips on how to apply. So I have about 5 to 6 alumni that were guided by me, and they were able to get this grant. So yeah, we have things that are learning. Thank you.
Yes, also
Awesome.
from my end, I'm
Yep.
also a member of that team from Africa, alumni from Africa. There is a WhatsApp group created, and then opportunities, are posted like every day, that's as to regard climate smart agriculture and other research fields as well. So it's a very great opportunity, to continue to collaborate even after this day.
Excellent. That's a very great point about, all of the things that you said, but I think maybe like the main thing about is networking and those opportunities that you gain through participating in such a program, networking with other scientists, which includes the host institute you're involved in, but not limited to that, right? So you can be connected to a huge alumni community that we have, more than 200 alumni, and in different places of the world, both where you are from and where you did your research stays and where you are now might be a different place, and that's actually a great I would say feature of the program. There's a lot of other questions that I have and I'm sure there's a lot more to share, but I know that our time is limited, and we don't want to take more of your time. We do really appreciate that you agreed to participate in this session, and very early in the morning for all of you. So thanks very much, Primitiva, Funmilola, and Glory, for sharing such thoughtful and honest reflections. And I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners who are gonna watch this in their time. And I hope that this session gives all of you a clear sense of what the program involves, and more importantly, the confidence to consider applying. And if you have questions after this session, you're welcome to get in touch with us at cliffgrads@globalresearchalliance.org. I will spell it CLIFFGRADS at globalresearchalliance.org. Thank you very much, and all the best with your Round 7 applications, everyone. Thank you so much.